Welcome back to the Divij podcast, episode 120. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and thank you guys for always supporting and leaving reviews and all that good stuff. We really appreciate you. I'm in the beautiful Calabasas today with two very special guests that I'm super excited to talk about, and I'm going to give you guys beautiful intros because I have to, and I would love to. But before I do that, I want to mention that on the way over here, I was listening to a podcast, and the one thing that really stuck out to me was Jay Shetty. He said, we're not supposed to be the most quiet, boring versions of ourselves. We're supposed to be the loudest, most prominent, in the room, inner child versions of ourselves. And immediately I was like, dang, like this is such the perfect way to start the day, especially when I'm hanging out with two people that, at least from what I've seen online, you guys are very like inner child, joyous human beings. And I think that's such a beautiful thing. But if you guys are tuning in, it's going to be a super educational episode for you guys. And I think you guys are going to learn a lot. But today I've got two really special guests. We've got my buddy Doug Evans. He is the co-founder of The Sprouting Company and the author of The Sprout Book. Go check it out. Make sure you guys order it. It's online, right? People can buy it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And we've got the party-rocking, vegan coder, tennis baller, chess-playing daddy. This is in your bio. I had to
Yeah, baby.
We got Redfoo in the building.
What's up?
What's up, man?
Daddy-o, let's go.
Yeah, baby.
How are you guys doing?
I mean, I am by far the best ever.
Let's go, man.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you guys for coming on. I don't know how you can be upset when you hang out in a place like Calabasas where it's just like Zen vibes. It's super peaceful. Like there's pigs running around. There's a horse when I walked up. Like there's so much stuff going on that's just like nature and grounding. So like, did you intentionally move here
Yes.
to be? Okay, cool.
Yes. I used to live in Hollywood before here, the city, the coffee bean, the dudes living on the street, and I'm friendly with them.
Yeah.
What's up, dog? What's up? And then I started traveling the world doing LMFAO stuff, Redfoo stuff. And I went into places like this where they had, wilderness stuff. And I would go back to the city and it was like, it's too much city. It's too much a dude, taking a shit in a bus stop for me to come back to being him as my home.
Yeah.
So I started to get this feeling. I never have ever thought I would want to leave the city. And I said, I gotta get out of the city.
Yeah.
And I came here because this had a tennis court. That was my dream, is to have a house, not a horse, a horse with a tennis court. No, to have two cows in a tennis court.
Yeah.
And that's that's where we're at. And it took a little, getting used to.
Yeah.
We're about 40 minutes from Hollywood, LA. But I'm looking at mountains. I'm looking at two cows, pigs, chickens,
Oh, what? And you have a turkey. How did you stuff the turkey for Thanksgiving?
Oh no, we don't do no.
Oh, wait. You can tell how you stuffed the turkey. I'm
Did
going
you eat
to
your
out
turkey?
him.
He
stuffed the
how
turkey.
you stuff the turkey?
Yeah, how you stuff the
Oh
turkey.
yeah, this is how you stuff the turkey. This is how you do it. You get everybody around the table. you everybody, and right after you say your grace.
Yeah, you have to say grace.
You got to say your grace, and then you look over, and you got your turkey right there.
Dead or
And you
dead
pass
or is it
them
alive?
Alive. Oh yeah,
Okay. In the high
your
seat.
turkey is a friend, and then you just pass them a little plate of sprouts,
Oh, you're not eating
and you're stuffing, and then the turkey's just gonna stuff itself.
Yeah.
That's
Right,
nice.
sometimes we feed the turkey. We hand feed
Yeah.
the turkey. But we
Yeah.
stuff that turkey on Thanksgiving,
Oh, yeah, it was done.
honoring
Yeah.
that turkey.
That's
I love
that's actually how we got the two turkeys. Now we have one, but we got Janet and Jive on Thanksgiving. It was Friendsgiving, and the Party Rock crew, Chris and Floyd, went to a slaughterhouse
Yeah.
and said, we want to get two turkeys. We want to buy two turkeys. And they said, okay, they'll be like $70 each. And they said, we can cut them up in the back for you. And they go, no, we're good. And they said, you're not some vegans, are you? And they were like, Not us. Not
We're
us.
not
No,
the
we like
vegans.
to. We're gonna do the killing. And then they said okay, and they gave them the turkeys. They put them in the Party Rock van, and then they drove them here.
That's
And
so funny.
I might even have some footage of this
That's crazy.
to splice in.
Yeah, I thought this was going to. You guys were gonna like kill the turkey, and then I remembered I'm hanging out with 2 vegans today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look, I mean, a lot of people confuse veganism where they think it's like they don't eat animals, right? They don't eat animals.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact is, the veganism to me is nothing to do per se about eating animals. It's about love and respecting sentient beings, right? To just understand, like, they want to live,
Yeah.
right? They want to live. Like, I see how they want to live.
Yeah.
And so part of it is if you can develop in your heart the compassion for living beings, then we wouldn't be so quick to go to war. We wouldn't have the cognitive dissonance to separate, war and abuse. Because like my mission with sprouting, people think that I just love sprouts.
Yeah.
Right? I wrote the Sprout book. No, what drove me to sprouting was about equality, food equality, food justice.
Yeah.
Because for years I had privilege, right? I always lived in a city. I was doing the A-hole triangle, New York, LA, San Francisco. I had an abundance of food all over. So I was living in a food swamp. Like I was swamped with food. And then I made this decision that I was going to raise my standards of what I was going to eat. So I started to eat 25 plus years ago, fruits, vegetables, seeds, nuts, seaweeds, mushroom, and sprouts. So that was my abundant lifestyle.
Yeah.
And then Fu moved to basically an urban, suburban jungle.
Yeah.
I moved to the desert, right? I moved near Joshua Tree to Wonder Valley Hot Springs. And not only was it an environmental desert, it was a food desert.
Yeah.
And literally my cooler from Air One was going down. Like all of the super premium raw food, fruits, the cooler was going down. And that night, as I'm looking at a sky scattered with 1 billion stars, I had the universe spoke to me. It whispered to me because I was asking it, like, how am I going to make it work? Because I loved the hot springs. I loved the peace.
Yeah.
Right? For all the aforementioned reasons, when I was in San Francisco, I'd be climbing over needles and fecal matter, human and animal.
Yeah.
And so I said, I really want to do good work. I want to have a communion. I had read The Alchemist. Did you read The Alchemist?
Absolutely.
So I read The Alchemist, and I said, I want to go live on an oasis. So I found this oasis, but it was not only an environmental desert, it was a food desert. And then the universe said to me, Doug, you know how to sprout.
Yeah.
And that sprouts were food. They were vegetables. Vegetables are food. That sprouts were vitamins and minerals. And that sprouts were medicine. So when I had that information, I started to process it. And then I realized, wow, like the pain. Like, I know you're on a 3-day fast.
Yeah.
Right? And I know, Fu, you've done 30 days of liquid fasting.
17 days.
17
30
days.
might be like
They
kind of
did
crazy.
70
17
days
is
of liquid.
Still crazy.
Right.
I kept going. Yeah.
I did 10 days water only.
Yeah.
And I know what it's like to be hungry. There's 25,000 people a day in this world in 2024 that are dying of starvation.
Yeah.
So I don't get the math that we can send vaccines around
It's like, dude, yeah, that's a big sneeze, bro.
Man, I thought, okay, I get it.
around the world.
I thought you really had me.
around the world. We have the money
Yeah.
to send them around the world,
Yeah.
but we don't have the money to send around real food. And the food that they're sending actually is getting people sicker,
Yeah.
right? So so that was one hand, we have 25,000 people a day dying of starvation. And on the other hand, which is even more obscene, is 100,000 people a day are dying from what they eat.
Crazy.
So
They're
have
bad
food.
diet.
Yeah, they're eating cooked food, processed food, refined food,
Yeah.
meat, dairy, animal products. So there's all of this stuff. And I don't have any judgment.
Yeah.
I only have compassion. But after crying myself to sleep, thinking, like, what's the meaning of life, right? Because I lost my aunt to type 2 diabetes, double amputation of her feet, my mother to stomach cancer. Before I could even finish grieving the loss of my mother, my father died of heart disease. And then my brother had the first of 3 strokes and 2 heart attacks. And we're living in modern society.
Yeah.
So is it safe to say, to tie it in,
You tie it in.
is it safe to say that sprouting is freedom? It gives you freedom.
Yeah.
Can it, you know what I'm saying? To live in the desert and to, you know what I mean? Is you know, I mean, what would you say about that?
Well, I want to really take it back a little bit because I'm super excited to talk about sprouting. But before we get to that, because I'm sure people are like, what is sprouting? They have no idea what this stuff is.
You
I
tell
gotta
me.
I gotta know how you guys came together because obviously for those of you guys watching Redfoo, you come from LMFAO.
Yeah.
You created the party rock anthem, which is dun, 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 you know, one of the biggest hits of all time. And then, you know,
Wait. I just want to stop.
Yeah.
He didn't create that. Foo created 16 hits.
that was just one
So,
of them.
like,
Yeah,
he has a
totally.
massive body of work.
100%.
You know, so just one.
No. Party Rock Anthem, I think just for, at least for me, that was the one thing that, you know, I remember from my childhood that, you know, when I think back, it brings back, you know, beautiful memories.
I thought it was your favorite song was going to be I'm Sexy and I Know It because you're so sexy.
I'm very
Look at
sexy.
you.
That's true. That's number 2. But, you know, you come from this world of music. I used to work in the music industry at Interscope and Capitol. You were signed to Interscope, I think, at one point.
Yeah.
So I got to see, you know, the music business, but, you know, I see you, you know, coming from the music industry, and I see you, Doug, coming from the health world.
That's right.
How do you guys collide? Like, when did you guys meet? What was that initial interaction?
Well, just because you mentioned it, Interscope, you know, Party Rock Anthem, I think this is what they told me, the #1 song in Interscope history.
Wow. Not surprised.
But we didn't even know that when we were on Interscope. And then I talked to the catalog people. They said, you know, this is the biggest song ever.
Did it
in
go
Interscope.
diamond? Did it go diamond?
I think so.
Of course.
But I'm saying
definitely.
bigger than Aftermath,
Number
bigger
4
than
on Diamond.
big.
Yeah.
Number 4 on Diamond. And I didn't even know who Redfoo was until,
Yeah.
we had been friends
Oh, yeah.
for a year and a half.
I was playing tennis,
Yeah.
and I was getting into sprouting.
Yeah.
And a tennis player, a friend of mine, said, "Oh, you love sprouting? Oh, so then you must know Doug Evans." I said, "Who's Doug?
The king of sprouting.
Evans?" He said that. The king of sprouting. I said, "Who?" I thought I was. I just had got into it, so I thought I was like, you know, I thought I was a king. I mean, I was into. I
Yeah.
had, you know, some jars and stuff.
You were the prince. He was
I was the
king.
prince, but you know, I didn't know. I thought I was the king, but I was the prince because then I went to his page, and his whole page was dedicated to sprouting and recipes, and he had his book and and then Jasmine, my partner, the mother of my child,
Goddess.
the goddess, the love of my life.
Yeah.
She contacted him, and I wasn't even jealous. Because I knew that it was purely for health. We're so into health
right.
and sprouting. And she was like, you need to meet, Redfoo because he's into sprouting. And then all of a sudden he shows up at my house
You just pulled up?
with his wife,
Yeah.
That's
pregnant
so funny.
wife.
This was, the universe conspires.
Yeah.
Because
does.
I get a lot of DMs. You look cute, right?
I'm sure you get a lot of those,
I
dude.
get a,
Yeah.
I get a
From
lot.
A lot of girls, a lot of guys.
From dudes in Ghana.
Okay,
Fake
okay.
profiles.
Okay.
But I get a lot of DMs, and Jazzy Rock
Oh.
DMs me, and said, my boyfriend and I he's really into sprouts. He's into things. We think you guys would get along. And I'm like, well, where are you? And she says we're in Calabasas, and turns out I was 6 minutes away
Crazy.
in Calabasas at Rich Roll and Srimati's house, the founder of Shrimu.
Yeah.
And I had been on the Rich Roll podcast, which the friend who he said, so he, like, I get that message and I said, okay, well, we'll come see you. So after our dinner, which ended at 8 o'clock, we rolled down the hill.
Yeah.
And we just the genius that Foo had.
Yeah.
Had.
Doug's throwing shots today. Doug's on fire.
I'm sorry. The genius that
I
Foo
was dead.
was
I'd be talking at my funeral or some stuff.
the genius that he was expressing
Yeah.
resonated with me.
In terms of music or in terms of the health stuff?
I had never heard one of his songs.
Got it.
I didn't
You
know.
didn't even know.
I didn't know Redfoo from Mom Foo. All I knew was here was a guy 6 minutes away with a lovely girlfriend at the time and who was interested in sprouting. And I was with my wife. So we rolled down here and we just talked.
Sound like you thought we were swingers.
Yeah, Doug thought something else
Sound
was
like
going
you
down
thought
that
we were
day.
swingers.
I want you to know, I'm biting my tongue. I'm biting my tongue. There was no swinging intention whatsoever, even though, because I had never seen Redfoo in the Speedo.
That's right. That's right.
Had I seen
Had
it,
you
Had
seen
him
the
in a
Speedo?
Speedo, then it would have been more
Yeah.
of a
so
swinging
I really
candidate.
thought you were going to wear a Speedo on the podcast. I'm honestly really
I
bummed
might
out.
have one on.
Let's
You-
go.
You know what I'm saying?
We'll see how it goes, you know?
So I just felt like, wow, the cosmic consciousness, the exchange, the resonance. So it's now approaching midnight. My wife was 8.5 months pregnant.
Dang.
Yeah.
So, and we live 3.5 hours away. So they very generously said, hey, if you guys need a place to stay, you're
And we
welcome.
just met him. And
Oh,
we offered a place. They slept over the house.
first night.
Yeah, first
We just
night.
met him off of Instagram.
Wow.
Yeah, in the main house.
So
Okay.
that's got to speak something to
The
how-
chemistry.
the chemistry and the vibe.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about health and sprouting and just life. And it was amazing.
But
Yeah.
but on the music front, I grew up as a graffiti writer. And then I became a paratrooper.
Believe it or not.
That's
Right.
crazy.
And then I became a workaholic.
yeah.
And I never gave myself the gift of music. Now, I love artists, but I don't love music.
Yeah.
Because in any free time, I was listening to Tony Robbins or Earl Nightingale or Ralph Waldo Emerson. 2 books, one in each ear at double speed because I was trying to get smart, get educated to work. So I never listened to music. I never went to concerts. And then we have another mutual friend who had a song that went diamond. And he didn't tell me what it was. And I didn't know what a diamond song was.
Yeah.
Right? For those of you, it's a platinum 10X.
Crazy.
There was a list
Wow.
on Wikipedia of 104 diamond songs.
Yeah, there's not that many.
But you're saying Party Rock Anthem is 4 times diamond?
No, it's 10 times platinum.
Okay.
10
But
times
so
platinum.
Party
But
Rock
it's
Anthem
number
is
4
one.
on
Part-
the
yeah,
diamond list.
Party-
Oh, it's number 4 on the
Number
That's what he
diamond.
4. Yeah, number
On the
4.
all-time diamond list?
It was when I looked
I love
it
how
up.
you don't even know it. It's your song. That's so
Man,
funny.
I gotta.
So I didn't know this until my friend said, look, he told me he had a song that went diamond. So I'm looking on the list to try to see what it was.
Yeah.
And number 4, I'm like, Savan, that's my man. That's Redfoo.
My guy, yeah.
And she's like, no. And I'm like, yeah. And then she's like, oh, I saw Party Rock on the van. And it all started to make sense because, like, in the closet, there's a
In the
1,000.
closet? You saying I'm in the closet now?
There's like 1,000 outfits. I've never seen more clothes in my life. Do you know if you go for Halloween to the how they have these special pop-up shops
Yeah.
for Halloween?
Yeah.
They got a Redfoo costume.
In a Speedo.
That's crazy. That's when you
Yeah.
know you made
They
it.
got
bro.
the
Yeah.
wig.
That's
they
when
got
you
the
know.
Speedo.
That's cool. That's cool.
So
Maybe one day they'll have a Doug costume. Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean,
In a whole sprouted,
Just a sprout.
just caveman Speedo thing.
I mean, I'm just happy if people are eating Sprouts.
Yeah.
So that was a year and a half into our friendship.
Yeah.
That you found out.
That I found out that he was like a successful artist, and I had no idea.
Wait, that just never came up in conversation?
Never came
Because that's not. Yeah, we.
He
we're
was-
talking about
he was-
Sprouts,
Yeah.
push-ups,
push-ups, and he was
tennis.
his house, like his office. He had 3D printers. He was coding apps.
Yeah,
He
oh
was
yeah.
playing tennis, right?
Yeah.
And I don't even have Instagram on my main phone because I don't consume. Like I
Yeah.
create content, I post and I share, but I'm protective of the addictiveness of the social media. So I don't consume media. Like I just don't consume it. In my house, we have no TV, we have no cable, and I'm very protective. Anything that I consume is very deliberate. So I'm not listening to music. I'm not doing this stuff. And he was growing mushrooms out of 5-pound food safe Home Depot buckets. Remember?
Functional mushrooms, or are we talking psychedelic mushrooms?
No, just regular oyster mushrooms.
Got it.
With the substrate out of the Home Depot buckets, drilling the holes in, and it's growing out.
Yeah.
And,
Were you selling them, or were you
No,
growing
no,
them
no.
growing them to eat them?
Just growing them to eat them. We were on a big mushroom thing, and then I got into just this big growing thing because you saw the video. You know, obviously, I'm a grower, not a shower. and it was cold.
Honestly, same.
No.
Honestly, same.
We shot Sex and I Know It in Venice, and it was cold. It was a cold day.
Oh.
It was like 40 degrees. So
Did you use a sock or like?
No.
So that was for real.
That is for real, baby. That's a real wiggle. But the point is, I'm still infatuated with growing things. You know what I mean? Like food, especially.
Yeah.
So I was in this growing mushroom phase, and it was fascinating because you could just grow them yourself. It took about a month and a half, and then it just started to grow out. So yeah. So he came over and he seeing the mushroom growing a mushroom.
Yeah, it just resonated. And then like Sprouts. So let's just make sure this podcast we talk about Sprouts.
We have to.
Right? So Sprouts are seeds that germinate, right? So a seed is a complete living organism in a dormant state. And when you add water to the seed, you simulate what happens in nature. Whether a bird or an animal eats the seed and it goes through the digestive tract. So you're able to take a seed and by adding water, soaking it, you trigger a metabolic process called germination, also known as sprouting. And that process unleashes the potential of that seed. So for example, I'm looking at these lentils. Lentils are the staple of the plant-based diet around the world. Everyone loves lentils, from lentil burgers to dal in your culture.
Yeah.
Like people love lentils. When you sprout a lentil, you increase the vitamin C by 300%. You quadruple the antioxidants. And you reduce or eliminate the lectins, the phytic acid, the enzyme inhibitors. And you are now holding not a lentil anymore. You're holding a lentil sprout, which is a vegetable. And that vegetable is enzymatically active, electrically charged, nutritionally bioavailable. So, like, when you're tuned in to sprout consciousness, you don't want to eat anything else. And when you find out nutritionally that every single sprout contains every amino acid to form complete proteins, that's the answer to your protein question. Where do I get your protein?
Yeah.
I get my protein from sprouts
Wow.
because sprouts have amino acids. So you pair up, you have some lentils with some broccoli, perfect, complete protein, right? So if you ask the question, where does a cow get its protein? I'm asking you, where does a cow get its protein? Div, you're a smart guy wearing green.
Honestly, I've never thought about what cows eat.
Okay, I'll give you a clue.
Hay?
A grass-fed cow.
Grass.
That's it?
Sprouts?
They ain't eating. Wait. Are cows
I don't
eating
know what
other
cows
cows?
Maybe.
They get
crazy
mad
ones.
cow disease.
Yeah, that's true.
So just think about that. That nature has provided in grass the nutrition combined with the ruminant, which is basically a digestive process of different cows don't have 4 stomachs. They have different chambers in their stomachs, and they process microbes that they're able to break down the cellulose of the grass. But the real magic isn't in the insoluble fiber of the grass.
Yeah.
It's in the liquid amino acids that are parched and held within the cytoplasm
Got it.
of the fiber. So if you like say you don't have 4 stomachs, you don't have to swallow the grass.
Yeah.
You can chew the grass, or sprouts are fully digestible, soluble and insoluble fiber. So protein is just this obsession. When people ask me, where do I get my protein from?
Yeah.
I ask them, where did you get that question? Where in the matrix did it penetrate the parasitical part of your brain to have you ask that question?
Because it's an interesting thing is because when we were kids, no one ever asked that question.
That's right.
No one ate anything for protein, you know. And I was thinking about this, you know, because I grew up, I used to, you know, eat the meat and all that stuff. I never once, you know, ate a steak for health. You never said, you know, oh, I'm trying to be healthy. Like you're on a fast for health. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're, you know, it was so the whole thing. But I think when someone hears that you're vegan or someone hears that they're this, the first question is, where do you get that? Where do you get your protein from? And I think like you're kind of like leaning towards is it's been injected in by the devil's advocate or the argument of why, you know, maybe not to be vegan is like the first, where do you get your, you know, protein? Where do you get your B12? Where do you know, it's like a line of questions when deep down what I'm saying, honestly, no one ever even thought of that.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about I've never met anyone that had a protein deficiency that didn't have an eating disorder. Right. Normal people, if you're eating the diet, you're getting enough calories, you're getting enough protein. People do have a fiber deficiency, right? They're constipated. The number one over-the-counter drugs are antacids, Rolaids, Pepto-Bismol, Tums.
Yeah.
But so it's what's happening is you have to take control of your own decision-making, and you look at the strongest creatures on the planet, and you know they're eating plants.
Yeah.
Gorilla is not eating a cow.
Right.
He could go to the cow. He could easily like body slam a cow. Instead, he's just looking at the cow. He's looking at the gazelle, and he's eating the bananas. He's eating the trees. He's eating the roughage.
Yeah.
So what happened is, I think that question is a propaganda virus that has infiltrated the society. And, you know, for me, I just wanted to be really clear. My heart's filled with love. I don't want to judge anybody for what they're doing. What I want to do is say, whatever you're eating, add sprouts to your diet.
On top of it. Yeah.
Add sprouts to your diet. So in the view of sprouts.
Well, but why though? Why, Adam? Because this is what I love about when we're talking about the subject of sprouts, because you can grow them at home. It's not we're not dependent. This goes back to this freedom
Really?
thing.
You can grow sprouts at home?
Yeah. But
No.
But but that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Because look, it's a freedom thing. That's what I'm talking about. Like, you can grow organic, arguably the most healthiest food on the planet.
Yeah.
It's easy to grow.
Yeah.
Even for a 5-year-old can grow them. It's just rinsing out water, you know, once or twice a day, and in 4 or 5 days, you've got all these sprouts. one broccoli stalk, a little bit of sprouts is the same nutrition as one.
Oh yeah. This is where it's like explosive. That basically, the sprouts contain an endosperm and an embryo, and within the first 7 days, they grow without soil, without sunshine, without fertilizer. Right?
There he is.
And
there
so
he is.
right now, this
Live
is
taste
literally
test.
the sprouts are 20 to 100 times the nutrient density of the mature broccoli.
How does it taste?
That's broccoli sprouts. They got a little bit of a kick.
Ah.
So it's a little, it's a little spicy. I mean, that's the closest thing I could say. It's they're like they're like spicy. Feel like a spicy salad. Like it's feel like it tastes like radish.
I'm fasting, man. I can't.
Oh,
I wish. Honestly, I know. I picked the worst day to film this episode, but
No,
I really can't.
I mean, I would just add to your repertoire of fasting that you're doing water, caffeine, bone broth, and sprouts. Yeah.
Technically, if it's a liquid, I can have it.
We can liquidize it.
I'm down.
Yeah, I was going to say I could chew it and spit it out, and then you'd have the liquid.
Why don't I just drink your saliva, Doug? Let's just do that.
Yeah.
I'll just drink your saliva. But no, so I have a question. So I think in
Those are
modern,
good, right?
what is that? Oh, that's the
Lentils,
The
yeah.
lentils.
Sprouted lentils.
Yeah, lentils are good.
Now, okay, so go. But I was going to talk about the difference between, you can cook lentils.
Yeah, and
You
they're
don't have to
healthy.
sprout 'em.
Yeah.
They're healthy, but they're not as healthy.
Yeah.
Because the enzymes, when you cook a food, you're killing all enzymes.
Right.
And the body. I'm eating, baby. And the body. So when you cook, you could cook these lentils, and they have some protein and stuff, but you're going to lose the enzymes. When the sprouted lentil touches my mouth, the saliva builds up, and there's some kind of communication to where the enzymes are going to communicate, and I'm going to release the proper digestive enzymes that I have to match what this is. But if you cook it, your body doesn't recognize it. It's like, I don't know what that is. It could be a piece of wood.
You're killing the nutrients.
Could be a piece of bread. It's like you're stripping the ID from the plant by cooking it, by pasteurizing it.
So the best thing is just to eat it raw. Like take it straight out of the jar and just put it in your mouth.
Raw. And even fermented works too, because it's still alive.
Yeah.
So that's just.
Fermented is even actually more living, because fermenting is you're actually taking the microbial process. Like in our gut, there's 38 trillion non-human microorganisms, yeast, fungus, mold, parasites operating in the gut. The macro level is called the microbiota.
Yeah.
38 trillion. So most of the DNA in our body, RNA, is not human. And people think, like when you eat something, it becomes part of our body. We have a tunnel that goes from our sphincter to our mouth.
Yeah.
Right? And things get absorbed along the way. But literally, you could, some process goes right all the way through. That's why some shit goes right through you.
Like corn, for example. It just goes right through, right? It doesn't
well, it
digest.
does.
The cooked corn.
Right.
Raw corn, if you break it down and you chew it, you get higher levels of absorption.
Yeah.
So we're in this world where you can't be in a city without having 50 opportunities to eat processed, refined food. You're seeing ads, you're seeing billboards, you're seeing guys on the street, right? So when I moved to the desert, no billboards, right? No advertisements, then all of a sudden these have flavor to me. So my diet, may seem boring to some people, but they're not me. They don't know that.
No, I'm sorry. This guy his diet is fruits in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay, and then he'll eat the sprouts and vegetables at night. This guy brings a persimmon in
Oh, such a good fruit.
And you see,
So good.
But he's like caressing it to me, and he's like, "Don't you love the persimmons?" And I'm like, you know, I can eat some dates. I can eat apples. He's like, "Oh no, an apple compared to it." He was like, He was like, "The persimmon is the most beautiful," and he starts stroking it like fondling it. And
Doug, you
he's
gotta
like,
chill, bro.
"Look at the skin." And he's like, and I said, "Doug, I don't." Okay, I've been raw for 6 months, eating nothing but fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
Okay, but I said, you know, and so this guy, because he's like, it's the sweetest. It's what is it? Is it November? Oh no. It's December. They're the ripest. He has like a whole. He studies the persimmon, the journey of the ripeness from and he knew everything. He's like, I said, it looks bruised. It looks, oh no. I mean, he's like obsessed with the taste, but most kids are obsessed with gummy bears, gummy worms, Skittle, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. But that's just imitation to a persimmon.
Right.
Or to a mango or a juicy.
Wait. I saw you doing mango cunnilingus.
No.
What is
I
that?
told you. No, he asked me.
That sounds like
no,
some tantra
that's
stuff.
ridiculous. He asked me because I said, "Bro, you're looking at that like persimmons like you want to F it, you know? Like, what are you doing?" And he said, "If you had one fruit that you were to fool around with,
what would
you fool around with?" And I said, "You know, I'm gonna say it. I'm a mango."
Yeah.
I don't like the seed in there, but I like the texture of a mango. You know,
nice and smooth. For
it's
sure.
smooth,
And the
flavor's good,
juicy.
You know, but I would make out with a mango. Basically, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Doug's hitting that
too.
persimmon raw. He's not wearing no condom. He's going straight in.
He's
there.
going raw.
I have to say, this morning, there's 2 weeks left of persimmon season.
Mm.
And in the farmer's market, Calabasas farmer's market, they have 7 vendors that sell persimmons.
Mm.
Only 2 of them have the Hashia persimmon that are ripe. They actually bring and they wait for the fruit to ripen on the tree.
Interesting.
They're so fragile that when Jazzy Rock threw her broccoli, she crushed 2 of the persimmons.
No way.
She threw the broccoli in the bag?
She tossed it onto the persimmons and crushed the 2 persimmons.
This guy.
Doug was
seen
very
people
sad.
be excited about like fantasy football.
Yeah.
And they're like, we got 2 weeks left of the season. He's talking about fantasy fruit here.
Let's
and,
go.
And he's like, there's 2 weeks left, and then he'll be on to the next. You know, the next like season is the winter season. So you're gonna have.
Yeah.
But the crazy thing is that the sprouts, you don't even need sunlight.
Year round.
It's all year round.
Really?
It's in your kitchen. That's what I'm saying. It's the easiest.
They don't die if they don't have exposure to sunlight?
No, because it's like we're imitating it being underground. Like a seed will sprout from being in the dark, looking for the sun.
Yeah.
That might be the mode. It might be looking, but there's enough little sun that comes into your kitchen or light or something. But no, you can sprout these things in the dark. For instance, mung bean is to get those long mung beans. That's all in the dark.
Yeah. They do in a big bathtub.
No way.
But so the miracle of sprouts is that you can grow them without soil, without sunshine, without fertilizer, in days, in 1 cubic foot on your kitchen countertop. And that's why like this equipment and the idea of the sprouting, and basically, you know, we have this issue right now, and I'm sure everyone's aware of microplastics.
Yeah.
So
plastic water bottles.
So we designed this sprouting company kit that anything that touches the sprouts, glass or stainless steel.
So there's nothing harmful going into the sprouts.
Yeah, glass and stainless steel. And then what Redfoo is about to eat, the broccoli sprouts, detoxify the chemicals that come from the microplastic.
Got it.
These sprouts?
Yeah.
These sprouts are like caffeine, bro.
They get
I'm not joking.
Yeah.
We got to do a study because there's something in sprouts. If it's the enzymes, if it's
I know what it is.
What is it? Because it hypes me up.
What it is?
It hypes me up.
It's so funny. You know, some of the cooked people out there, like there's this one guy, Dr. Sean Baker. I'll give him a call out. He loves to troll me and Foo.
Yeah.
Oh, the guy with the steak?
With the steaks. He's like, carnivore.
Well, because there's a lot of people that say that the vegan diet kills you.
Yeah.
So
Like, I don't know who's
With
paying
the
them.
plants, with the lectins.
Do I look dead?
No, you look pretty alive. I will say that.
So they talk about the plants trying to kill you.
Yeah.
Well, let me just say, it's been about 13.8 billion years.
Yeah.
They're doing a bad job.
Yeah.
They're doing a
They
bad
ain't killing
job.
the cows, the animals. I mean,
And they're not killing us. We're part of an expanding universe.
Yeah.
They're doing, but the thing that they talk about is the anti-nutrients. This is like, they have some really smart people. I don't know if they came out of Philip Morris or Kraft or what company these geniuses came up to launch this propaganda machine. But the anti-nutrients is what's making you high.
Yeah.
And actually,
the tannins and shit.
Well, in the case of the broccoli,
Yeah.
what makes the broccoli give you that high factor
Woo!
and give you the kick
Woo!
is that the broccoli is part of the cruciferous family
Yeah.
of vegetables. And the cruciferous family of vegetables have phytonutrients called glucosinolates. And the one glucosinolate called glucoraphanin is the precursor to sulforaphane. And sulforaphane, there's more than 2,000 peer-reviewed published studies on sulforaphane, how they detoxify benzene and air pollutants from the lungs, how they open up the NRF2 pathway to help detoxify.
So, like in recovery in sports, it's gonna help you recover.
Oh,
faster.
anti-inflammatory.
Yeah.
So they're anti-inflammatory, and they actually prevent many cancerous cells from growing, right? And they regulate insulin levels in diabetics, right? And when you fill up on sprouts, like this entire jar, when it's filled, is 200 calories.
Yeah.
So it will fill you up. So I'm sure.
And you can't even eat a whole jar because your body, your what's that word when you feel full? You're
Full.
Bloating.
Satiated.
Satiated, yeah.
Satiated.
Redfoo,
you
already
gotta-
satiated just with a couple, and you're feeling already good.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, man.
The nutrient density.
It's the density.
Redfoo,
bro.
you got a little sprout in your beard. I'm sure you're gonna want to. I'm sure you're gonna want to eat it.
Oh, that's good for the people to know. They know.
Is there sprouting skincare? Like, can you use this on your face?
Let me just tell you something.
Okay.
You can use sprouts. Like, there was a study, and I would never do an animal study, right? Because it's not vegan, it's exploitative. But I'll read studies that were done, so at least the animal that was sacrificed had some purpose,
R.I.P.
was used. They took hairless mice, and they rubbed broccoli sprout juice on them.
Yummy.
And then 3 days later, they exposed them to the sun. And the area that had the broccoli sprout juice on protected them from the UV rays.
Wow. So you can make sunscreen out of sprouts.
Sunscreen. And actually, for me, I live in the desert. And like, I don't want to be controversial. And I don't want to tell anyone what to do. I live in the desert.
Yeah.
My
He does. He
family
lives in it,
has not worn sunscreen. I have not worn sunscreen in 25 years. I know you look really cool with those sunglasses.
Thank you.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
gotta be careful.
Yeah. I don't wear sunglasses
Yeah.
because I'll wear a hat because I don't want to look it, but I don't want my body to think that it's dark. I want my body to know that it's bright.
You need the sunlight. Yeah, for
You
sure.
need the sunlight because that regulates the production of melanin.
Yes, that's right.
Right.
Wow.
It's a big word.
That's I was gonna say melatonin, but it's melanin, right?
Yeah.
Because your eyes tell the body, okay, sun's out, hitting your
Right.
skin.
Circadian rhythm. Gets you
Yeah,
moving.
let's get into it. Because that's why I didn't even know what I was doing. But when we popped out the lenses, I still get the effect, the
Cool.
art, the coolness, the artsiness of the lenses. But I never liked. So we popped out the lenses.
Revolutionary.
You
The
know what I'm
story
saying?
behind the famous Fu sunglasses.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of the reasons why we was in the club, me and Sky Blue, and you know they were dark. We had the shades on, and I remember I got into the mix.
Yeah.
I got into the mix and I was dancing, and I was popping it. You know what I'm saying? And then they was twerking, and yeah, this is working. And I had my lenses on, and I was like, I'm cool with the lenses. And they started taking video of it. Okay, let's go. Go Redfoo, boom, boom, boom. And when they showed me the video, I was twerking with some people that I shouldn't have been twerking.
You were twerking?
I mean,
or the girls
I
were
was doing
twerking?
the butt bump, so I was twerking,
Oh,
and they were
okay.
twerking, but I was freaking up on the twerking, and I'm not sure, and they were just, it wasn't, because the lenses, they fooled me. I thought it was just some hot, you know, girls doing the thing, and it wasn't that. I don't know what it was, but it was like a you know, just they were they had a lot of shapes.
Might as well have been blindfolded.
I might as well have been blindfolded, right? So
Was that a glory hole?
Yeah. I might as well have been in a glory hole because it was they were abusing me. They were abusing me, but I didn't know it because I was so, you know what I'm saying, cool with the lenses. So right then, I remember popping them lenses out, and then I could see, and then I said, "Oh my goodness, and
Get me out of here!"
No, and so I said, "I'm never gonna." And then.
But no judgment. You love everybody.
I love everybody, but I can love them
no
from
more.
afar.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
you
saying?
don't
I
have to
can.
be in
Those
them.
girls
I
weren't
don't
eating
gotta
sprouts,
be.
that's for sure.
Yeah. So then I had the no lenses, and this is and a girl came up to me and said, "Oh my God, I like your glasses." And I said, "Oh yeah." And she's like, "Can I try them on?" And I could see her, and she was looking good, you know. And so I gave it, and she tried them on. She was like, "Oh my God, thank you so much." And then we started talking and stuff. And then we was hanging out during the club. And I said, "Man, I'm never taking these off." Because no girl had ever come up to me talking about I liked something that, And so I was like, these glasses, something magical about them.
Yeah.
So that's where the no lens is. But a lot of it was, too, is I never felt comfortable in the sun. You got the lenses. And then, like, you don't even know. But you're like out there in the sun, and then you take them off, and you're like, "Oh, that tree's not purple." It's like it changes the color of things and shit, and it just seems man-made to me. It seems like a product.
It is a product.
It's a product, and I don't. And now it's coming out that you're blocking certain rays that you actually need.
Right. Your
Right.
boy was saying you got to see the sun, twice a day, sunrise, sunset.
Right.
And that the old adage is like they're trying to position the world that you should take a bath in Purell,
Yeah.
right?
Bleach.
You should take a bath in Purell. You should have sodium chloride bleach
Yeah.
everywhere
On your clothes.
that
Disgusting.
You should be wearing a Tyvek suit.
Yeah.
You know,
Polyester.
right?
Yeah.
And all of your food should be cooked, processed,
Yeah, in a box.
pasteurized, in a box, additives, preservatives.
Right.
And that's where, for me,
Ugh.
I want to consume things that are alive. And what's magical about the sprouts,
Yeah.
I get more excited.
Preach on, my brother.
What's magical about the sprouts is they are living.
Yeah.
They are
Yeah.
complete. Like when
Yeah.
you're eating something,
Yeah.
and I love raw food, and I love vegetables, and I love fruit.
Yeah.
But it's being disconnected
They chopping
from the
Right.
life force.
Right.
So they're pulling the leaf off. The average leaf of lettuce has traveled 2,000 miles.
Crazy.
This is traveling, I think, 2 feet.
Yeah.
2 feet.
Yeah.
And the sprout is alive.
It's still alive right
It's
now.
alive. It's growing.
I could put this in the ground
And it would grow.
and it come up with a lentil plant.
That's crazy.
a whole thing and make
Yeah.
more of the seeds. I mean,
Yeah, it's
incredible.
infinite. It's infinite.
Same
So
with this, we can make we can
broccoli,
put these in the
broccoli
garden right now.
and so this is a level
Yeah.
that and I'm so grateful. Like how we came together was
Yeah, how did y'all come? How did y'all meet?
We DM'd on Instagram.
Yeah, what happened was
The swinger stuff?
no.
Oh.
I saw something from George.
George's pocket. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
George. I saw something on George, and to me, like when I see thought leaders that are conscious, and they look like they have a sprout deficiency, I reach out, and I thought that George Jenko would benefit from having some sprouts in his life.
Yeah.
So George, like, immediately flipped me over to Div,
Yeah. Here we are.
and here we are.
Thank God.
So in a way, I feel like this is better because this is happening now. Like this is real.
Right.
This is real. So that's how we came together. And
Wow.
and Div almost came to Wonder Valley Hot Springs last Sunday, but then like it's a long schlep to bring Grant out, and I like to be optimal with time and space. And I was like, oh well, we'll be here this week,
Right.
Yeah.
and you get the extra bonus of Redfoo, because the interesting thing that now that I've gone deep on Redfoo.
Whoa, well, I mean,
Whoa,
deep with the
pause.
sprouts.
Doug, the sexual references, man.
Deep.
It's not sexual to me. When I went into the consciousness
Yeah.
of Redfoo engineered, created #1 hits. Like he created LMFAO. He created Redfoo.
It was a co-creation.
Co-creation.
There's
But you
partners
created
involved.
Redfoo.
Definitely created Redfoo.
Yeah, you created Redfoo.
Yeah.
No one created Redfoo.
No.
What does Redfoo even mean? Like, how did you come up with that name?
Oh man, Redfoo was every rapper that raps needs a good name, a good cool
100%.
MC name.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was Kendall K. Is my middle name, Kendall K. I had some people say, "Oh, my sister's name is Kendall," and "Oh, cool, this that." And I always liked it. It was smooth.
Yeah, it rolls
It was
up
like
the tongue.
caramel, Kendall.
Yeah.
It's a smooth thing. But as a rapper, I was battling in the streets, the streets of Culver City and stuff. And just Kendall, it was cool, but I needed something different. So I closed my eyes and I just asked the universe. I said, "What am I?" And it came back and it said, "You art thou red." And I looked at my skin, and it's kind of like a red tone. I get a red tone in my face. And I said, "Oh, that's cool." And I was talking to just the universe, and then I was like, "Well, red, it's got passion, so I like that." So, and I saw like a ball of red. You close your eyes, you usually do that if you're looking light and close your eyes, you see some red or something. It's probably your blood in your eyelids. But to me, it was just a red ball of. I said, "Ooh, that's good." And then I said, "So what do people think of my personality?" Right? And it came to me. It was like, the Lord said, somebody said, "You's a fool," And I said, and they always said that, like, "Come on, man, you's a fool, man. You's a fool." And I was like, Red Fool. And at first, because the rappers, they try to always go like really deep and complex. And so I was like, oh, MC Fool, that's red.
Yeah.
And that was my name for a day. And I went to the swap meet, and I wanted to get my name on like I was drinking coffee back then, and it was a lot of letters.
Yeah.
MC Fool, that's red. It costs
Too much.
like it was like $5 a letter. It costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
And so I was like, no. I ain't gonna do that. I left. I was pissed. They were pissed because I taking up their time. I came back and I said, "What about Red Fool?" I didn't like the L.
Just doesn't roll off the tongue.
I didn't like the L. The fool
Yeah.
seems weak to me.
Yeah.
I know a fool is a gesture, like what they're making the king laugh, but the fool, the L, it was like taking an L. It was a lose. It sounded like a loser to me. A fool's like a loser. Fool never wins.
No.
So I took the L off, and it was Red Foo, like foo. And that felt like a ball of energy, like a Redfoo, boom. And I was like, bam, Redfoo, baby, Redfoo.
Let's go.
And it just felt magical. I just, and that's how it happened. And at that moment, which is crazy, is because my government full name is Stephen Kendall Gordy.
Sounds like a president name.
Well, my dad
Kinda.
did say it was a king way back.
Yeah.
Stephen Kendall Gordy. It sounds. See, but no one told me that.
It's like Lyndon Baines Johnson.
Wow.
Robert Kennedy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think
Stephen
we're
Gordon
actually
Jr.
related to one of the. I think the Kennedys or something. There's a family tree. Yeah, 23andMe. It came down to it.
Makes sense.
But Stephen Kendall. Wow, it does. That's pretty good. But I had, when you grow up, you've got, your parents are like, come on, Stephen, and Stephen growing up was a little bit shy. Stephen was a little meek. I was, and I just needed a switch. I needed to be like born again in a sense. So when I became Redfoo, I was 0 years old. And I said what? And I defined Redfoo had to be passionate, had to be always a little funny. Sexy was just a given. I had that with all the names, Stefan, that's sexy. But, and so then I could just build. And so whatever year that was, I think it was like 1993. Let's just say 3.
Yeah.
So that's how really old I am as Redfoo. And everybody calls me Foo now. Mom Foo. I was playing tennis today, and they typed out my name Redfoo, and the guy was calling me Red.
Yeah.
And people were upset. They were like, no, your name is Foo. And I said, well, Red's in it. And then the guy kept on saying, okay, who's winning time ball is Red. And they were like, Red. Yeah, no, but the guy, and they were like, aren't you going to correct him? And I said, well, it's Redfoo. But that's how Foo is so important to my colleagues and my friends. And I was like, no, I'm not going to correct. It's Red. It's still Red. But so, but that's.
It should be proper. It should be Redfoo or Foo.
Or Foo. Yeah. People call me Foo. My mom calls me Foo. Eiley, my 19-month-old daughter, she calls me Daddy.
Yeah.
But eventually it'll probably be Daddy Foo.
My daughter calls him Redfoo.
Yes. Redfoo.
Let's go.
Yeah.
She loves Redfoo.
Yeah. And his daughter has got the coolest name, Leaf.
No, honestly, that's expected. Yeah.
That's expected.
I'm surprised you didn't name her Sprouts.
No,
Sprout?
That's
Sprout?
cliche.
It's a cliche.
Yeah, the way we came to Leaf was my mother, may she rest in peace, her name was Beverly. And my wife had a cousin who died at 6 years old.
Oh my gosh.
Whose name was like Leia. And our dear friend Paulette said, well, because we were just figuring out the names, and she said, well, you can make up a name that's inspired. So we thought Beverly, Leia, and then, we love nature. And the leaf is a beautiful part of the tree.
Yeah,
it's
it is.
living.
Yeah.
And it's unique. And so we came up with the name Leaf.
And it's kind of a combination of both of those.
Yeah,
Beverly.
it has the leaf and has the Beverly, but she is, when I sit with my daughter every morning, like my wife is still nursing. So anyone out there, I have no opinions about anything, but I'm saying we believe in breastfeeding. Breastfeeding.
Yeah.
And if you ever think about milk and you ever want to understand like how milk is addictive, look at a 2.5-year-old baby, and breast milk from the boob at the time solves all problems.
Yeah.
Like it solves all problems.
Even like when you're talking about face cream and stuff. I mean, if the baby has a cut, you can put breast milk on there, and it's like the best.
Yeah.
It's incredible. But that's interesting. That's a good segue into cow's milk.
That's right. There's no.
No. You're good. I just wanted to ask a question before we get into that. Was what are you guys feeding your kids?
Yeah.
I'm just so curious. Like, I'm guessing they're not eating any meat at all.
No, what?
Okay,
you
got
think
it.
We want to like abuse our kids?
Why would we put them through that
So what are the kids having for breakfast? What are they eating?
Breast milk.
Breast milk.
Breast milk.
Okay, so besides breast milk,
Fruit.
They love the mangoes.
Okay.
Frozen cherries this morning was a big thing. Leaf loves the frozen cherries.
Frozen cherries.
Yeah.
Frozen mango.
Avocado. Sprouts. It's a crazy.
Edamame.
I think we have the only 2 kids in the world right now.
Yeah.
That they eat everything we eat, but we make sure that we eat everything that they can eat.
Right.
And that's a whole new concept.
Sprouts. I
they-
can show you a video right now.
Yeah.
It's a 1 minute and 40-second video of my daughter like eating sprouts in the farmer's market, just like eating sprouts like candy.
Yeah.
Yeah. She really likes them.
And
Yeah, like
they don't
candy.
do they don't do any sugars, any donuts, any they say ice cream. We say, okay, we'll get you some ice cream. Frozen cherry.
There we
They
go.
like, I love it. Frozen mango. Thank you. I love ice cream. They think ice cream is
Very
frozen mango.
smart.
And they socialize with other kids, at the parks and all that stuff. But it's a big, like, strategic thing that these kids, similar ages, and even older. I mean, their diets to it's crazy.
That's so cute. She's actually, she looks like she's enjoying them.
Yeah, look.
Let's go.
She's digging in.
Yeah, she's digging it.
She's digging in.
Yeah.
I think I'm just to quickly touch on this.
Yeah.
I eat a lot of steak. Like I'm the
Yeah.
steak guy.
Yeah.
I eat vegetables. I eat fruits.
Mistake.
So it's perspective, right? I think for people like me, I'm in the gym twice a day. I'm trying to bulk, right? I'm trying to get bigger. I'm 175. I'm trying to get to like 200 pounds.
Yeah.
And the people that are around me say that you have to eat 1.5 pounds of your body weight in protein.
Yeah.
And so when
Yeah,
I
no
think of it,
problem. Eat that whole fucking jar and you're done.
is that going to be 200 pounds of 200
Look,
grams of protein?
let me just say, the strongman contest of the world won by a vegan.
Well, yeah.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Who's the one vegan that with his wife and they do the stuff?
There's so many. Like, look at Namai. He, so many. Or
you can get so much. The
or
protein
what's
is like between garbanzo beans, between lentils, between even the rice and beans if you need the calories.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so many options.
yeah, look at my man Tori.
Tori's jacked, huh? Tori's jacked. Yeah.
A lot of it is
And he
the
sprouts.
protein. It's so easy. It's
crazy.
really, but I guess it's different worlds. It's matrices. It's like you're in a world where your peers, this is what they're doing. And the
Right.
gym you happen to belong to, they told me that when I was working out, they were like chicken, and they said, if you wake up and you eat a bite of chicken before anything, it sets the body up to metabolize the protein and blah, 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 all this stuff. And but then the chickens have a lot of steroids in them.
Yeah.
And I started to figure out, I was like, oh, these guys, they like the steroid. They don't mind. If you tell a bodybuilder right now, oh, the meat that you have, it's got some steroids, they'd be like,
Steroids?
yeah, they're like,
Let's do it.
okay.
Yeah.
And they think, because the meat, I'm telling you, if you chat GPT, how many vaccines, antibiotics, how many steroids in the feed, the food, this. And then a lot of people say, well, I only eat the meat that I catch when I go fishing with Joe Rogan and hunting. No, you don't. You go to Pandix, but if you're eating the worst. You McDonald's on the Sunday over the cheat meal. It's like, and that stuff is horrible. And it is just, we can go on and on, but start chat GPTing, like just as a start. And you will find out that they are putting in over 20 vaccines in this cow. And they say, well, there's like a period, a grace period that they say, well, you could put the vaccines in, but then you can't slaughter them until that certain vaccine window has ran out. So this vaccine, you have to wait 5 days.
Yeah.
This one, you got to wait 2. But do you really think that the people that are doing this stuff, and even dairy cows too, they're pumping them in. And it's just like, well, before they milk them, they have to wait. And there's all these rules that the average person that drinks the milk, all this stuff, does not know anything about. But now, thanks to AI, you can deep dive.
Oh,
you can really learn about
Yeah.
all this stuff.
Yeah.
And thanks to drones, did you know that I forgot who said that, but they said if the slaughterhouse had glass walls,
Yeah.
no one would be eating meat. And to the effect that they've now made, if you go into a slaughterhouse and you film in the slaughterhouse, it is considered, do you know what it's considered?
Illegal.
Treason. I don't know.
Domestic terrorism.
Stop.
So there was a woman who went into a slaughterhouse and filmed, and they are charging her for domestic terrorism
Wow.
because you can affect the profits of the meat industry,
Yeah.
or the slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
So at any rate, the most important thing
Yeah.
that we can communicate is that you can actually be the sexy and I know it guy, fun guy, creative guy, fit guy.
You can say genius. You were about to say
genius, creative genius, like a guy who at 49 years old
Yeah.
can do 49 push-ups and is traveling to participate in his first
He's doing them right now.
ATP
Oh no, he's taking the shirt off.
Adjust the cameras. Adjust them.
Oh my
go.
God! He's going to do his
Shredded.
He's going to do his first ATP tournament, tennis tournament at age 49 years
Let's
old.
go.
He's going to get a point.
How many
so
you
he's
got?
going to bang out. He's got 49.
no,
Jail style.
He's gonna do 50 just to prove you wrong.
I got the jail style. It's like, where you're pumping up in here.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not the full
Yeah, but like anyone who criticizes,
I could
let them
probably
do
the full. I've never even, but I'm just letting y'all know because when it, but you guys would know. Anybody that works out knows. 49 of the.
It's a lot of push-ups.
49 of
It's a
any
lot of push-ups.
push-up is hard.
All right, here we go. You can count them out, but I'm
Okay.
I'm just gonna go.
Okay, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15,
Let's go.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22,
You're killing it.
23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40,
This is what Sprouts do for
41,
you, baby. Get your
42,
Sprouts. Get your Sprouts. The
43,
Sprouting
44,
Company.
45, 46,
The Sprouting
47,
Company.
48, 49,
The Sprouting
more, 50.
Company.
There we go. Redfoo.
Ah!
Let's go.
Let's go, baby.
Unleash.
Yeah.
Party rock is it? Okay.
Oh my God! Look, and he's not even out of breath.
Let's go.
Look at that. He's not even out of breath.
Oh, the strip is coming. We're gonna see the
Look at those
speedos,
guns.
ladies and gentlemen.
Look at those guns.
Woo!
So
Let's
so,
go.
I feel like this is the fountain of youth.
Yeah. This is the secret.
I was 215 pounds.
Dang.
I am almost 175 now.
Crazy.
All from going raw, increasing the sprouts,
Playing tennis.
playing tennis.
Yeah.
But then you want to work out more. At 215, I was still vegan,
Yeah.
but I was cooked. I was eating burgers and but it was all vegan stuff, but a lot of bread,
Yeah.
a lot of cooked shit.
Nasty
and my
stuff.
body was like, what the F? What is going on?
You ever just have a cheat meal, like rip a burger just for the one time?
No.
No cheat meals.
I'm very strict. I can't.
Okay.
Oh man, I am so.
I would
It's
say
just a mental thing.
Yeah, discipline.
It's like how you're like, no, you could eat this, but it's like, no, I gotta.
Yeah.
I promise to myself, I'm going liquid. I'm going fasting. So it's just, what you do. There's something I figured out. Who you are is what you do every day.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I do my age and push-ups. I do my best to do them every day.
Yeah.
This was my first, and I try to do 4 sets. I've done 4 sets a couple times. Yeah. But every day, so I'm raw. So every day, so this is who Redfoo is.
Yeah.
I wasn't always raw. I wasn't, but this is who I am. and I play a little bit of piano every day. I'm teaching my daughter something every day.
Yeah.
And I'm getting into things that I could do every day. I sprout every day, rinsing it out, this, that. And I'm always growing a crop, and so it's like, what can I do every day?
Yeah.
And I can do the push-up every day. I might not be able to get to the gym every day. So I don't rely on any type of place that I have to go or a trainer that has to come by. No. What can I do? And what can I grow? What can I create? And so that's, but it's something, I'm adding things to my daily routine.
Yeah. Amen.
I mean, I think of, you talk about a cheat day. To me, like, it's not a cheat. It's not a treat. It's like
you're literally hurting
punishment.
yourself.
Yeah.
Like, why would I want to do that?
Why would I want to? It's like, yeah.
We have a friend, another guy in the music industry, who easily had 1,000 hookups, right? Good-looking guy. After the show, 1,000 hookups, and I had said to him, what's that like? And he goes, oh, it's boring as shit.
Yeah.
And I go, well, what's interesting? He goes, oh, now I'm in a committed monogamous relationship. And I was like, how is that interesting? He goes, the depth. He goes, you think you know someone. You never really know someone because they're dynamic. It's like the river. They're always changing.
Amen. Every day, too. Like, people change day to day.
And so when you go deep on a relationship, more and more depth gets revealed to you. And, we live in this shallow, the world can be very shallow and superficial, and you think you know something. And the fact is, the deeper you go, the much more revealing it is, the more satisfying it is. So there's no appeal to me. Like, I can smell, like, rosemary chicken at the farmer's market, which I don't even know why they have it there. But I smell that, and it elicits some of the memories I have of childhood.
Yeah.
But I look at that, and I feel like
I'd be thinking of the chicken and shit, like how they got killed and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I just it's like incomprehensible for me, because I now know scientifically, biologically, metabolically that I am nourishing myself with the highest quality nutrients on a per calorie basis, and I'm a beast. Like, I'm a fun-loving, raw vegan, but I'm a beast.
Yeah.
I was a paratrooper in the 82nd Airborne. I jumped out of planes. I've worked, 90 hours straight in shit jobs just to earn a living. And now it's the motion, like, what motivates me today is, like, how I can share this knowledge, because, like, people are suffering.
For sure.
Right? People are suffering. My brother, I almost said may he rest in peace. He's still alive, but he's practically in the grave because of food. And I would say, just like in the casino, there's no casino that you can go to that you really have an advantage, right?
Totally.
Every game, the slot machines, the roulette machines, even the sports book, even if you bet on two fighters, no matter what, it's stacked against you.
Yeah.
I would say the food industry is even worse.
100%.
It's worse. And so this is something where I loved what you said about the freedom of the sprouts. Like, sprouts represent what?
Freedom!
Right? They represent freedom. Right? And
cool, because you can grow them anywhere. You can take them. I'm going to Egypt in the end of January to go play these pro tournaments. Yeah. And I'm bringing like at least 2 jars, but probably 3 or 4 jars. Yeah. I'm gonna wrap them in towels and stuff. They're not gonna break, and I'm gonna put them in the big luggage, maybe the carry-ons, if they allow it. But I'm gonna
Speedos.
Yeah, baby, get some sexy wrap there. But I'm going to sprout. Yeah. And I'm going to do a lot of the lentils, because what's going to, I'm going to do the broccoli stuff, but this is when I play, boom. And then after I play, I'm going to have the garbanzos. You can just soak garbanzo seeds, chickpeas overnight, and you can blend them up. They're ready to be a hummus or a hummus, as you like to say.
Not Hamas. Just to
Not
clarify.
Hamas. But you know, so you can go anywhere
Crazy.
with this.
And what happens is sprouts really get you into the abundance kind of mindset.
Yeah.
You know, when people are living in scarcity,
Yeah.
right? They're wondering where their next meal is coming from, what they're going to do, and there's so much sensationalism around food that people, as Dr. Joel Furman wrote in his book, Eat to Live, most people are living to eat.
Yeah,
They're living
absolutely.
to wonder where their next meal is, where their next steak is.
They're
where
eating
their
out of
next-
habit too, just routine.
It's an entertainment. It's a social thing.
Yeah.
Let's go eat, have a drink, and it has nothing to do with health. Nothing. And the body is the body is upset every time.
Yeah.
And that's why you get you fall asleep.
Yeah.
You never eaten some sprouts and say, "Hey guys, I'm just too tired. I'm gonna take a nap."
And you
never
can't overeat these things.
You can't overeat them.
because the body tunes in to says, "Oh, I'm satisfied."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, if you were to eat this combo of lentil sprouts and broccoli sprouts,
Yeah.
you actually fill up the gut and you release and secrete GLP-1 peptide
Woo! What's that?
without
What's that?
having to get
What's that?
Ozempic.
Oh yeah.
Got it.
Right? So what happens
So it makes
is,
you less hungry.
yeah, it fills you up. You become satiated.
Wow.
So what happens is,
Wow.
like, and this is the work of Dr. Lyle and Dr. Alan Goldhammer,
Yeah.
Dr. Doug Lyle and Dr. Alan Goldhammer. They wrote a book called The Pleasure Trap.
Yeah.
And they talk about if you eat food that has added salt, added oil, and added sugar, added sweetener, like you'll overeat.
Terrible. Yeah.
You'll just overeat.
Yeah. Totally.
But if you're eating raw sprouts,
Yeah.
you're never going to overeat raw sprouts. And they talk about how there's no animals in nature. You've never seen a fat zebra, or
No, I've
fat
never seen a fat
gazelle.
zebra. Yeah.
Like animals in nature, even a lion that's in, has access and is king of the jungle, has dominion over all these things, will not overeat.
Yeah.
Right? Animals have to perfectly regulate because if they undereat, they will die. Right? If they overeat,
Right.
they will die.
They'll get caught.
Right.
They'll-
Right.
they'll-
And check this out. And another thing that you said, I thought you were going to say the thing that I've been saying lately. And a lot of people say, why are you raw? You don't cook your food.
Yeah.
And I said, you guys got to understand, no animal in the world cooks their food
This is true.
except for humans.
This is true.
It's the only. So you could see how man-made it is from it literally cooking food is man-made.
Yeah.
Well, and do you know what animals get sick? I'll tell you, three
yeah.
animals get sick.
And the rest
Humans.
don't really
They don't get sick. They don't get chronic
diseases
illnesses.
and stuff.
Diseases, chronic diseases.
Yeah, lay it on them.
Three
Lay it
an-
on them.
Three animals:
Dogs.
humans,
Yeah.
dogs,
Yeah.
and cats.
Yeah, the ones that are closest to us.
And-
Well, the ones that are that eat human processed food.
Right.
The other ones
Right.
don't eat kibble.
Well, and,
Yeah.
and when we talk about the collusion, right? The largest pharmaceutical companies own the pesticide companies, and they have anti-cancer treatments, and they have pesticides that cause cancer, right? The interesting thing was one of the biggest atrocities to me is what you were telling me when your dog ate the pillow,
Yeah.
right? People go to the vet.
Yeah.
And the vet, they won't even look at your dog, do anything until you literally mortgage your house. To go to the vet, it's thousands of dollars. And then, but most of the things are not, Redfoo's dog eating a pillow, right? Most of the dogs are because of the dog food, the lifestyle, the
Right.
sedentary. And what happens is I found out the largest chain of vets,
Yeah.
VCA, you know who owns them?
Yeah. Who?
Pharmaceutical
M&M
companies?
Mars.
Who's that?
Mars, the candy company, the dog food company.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they bought the pet food company.
Crazy.
They bought the veterinarians. And now they bought up all the little veterinarians, so they're creating like a monopoly.
Yeah.
So you can't and everyone loves their animals. They love their
Yeah.
companion animals. They love their pets.
it's the fear. They make money. Our dog had a little scratch on its back because it was itching its own self.
Yeah.
And it was bleeding.
Yeah.
And so we would try to put Band-Aids around, but it was like right on this back and it was slipping off. We go to the vet and they go, "Oh, that could be cancer." And that, so we said, "Oh, don't say it could be cancer." So what are we supposed to do? Let's take a test and
Biopsy.
Let's take a
Right.
biopsy. The test is going to be $500
Yeah.
and blah blah. And I said, "But he scratches and it bleeds," because they're like, "If you said it's been like this for 2 months," I said, "Yes, because he's been scratching."
Well, it's
it was a
fleas.
bite. No, it was a bite, and it never. And we didn't properly, and he kept scratching the bite, so
Yeah.
it kept on, scabbing, and then
Made
the
it worse.
scab would get things. And I just said, "Okay, look," and then people, even Jasmine was like, "Hey, we should probably just do the test. It's not a big deal." And I have enough money to do the test. It's not about the money. It's just about the scheme of they make their money on the test, on the x-ray,
Yeah.
on the test, on the this. And I said, can't we just, I have a solution. And I put knee pads around, I put a knee pad around the dog, around its belly, got it there. And so it couldn't scratch itself under the chair, right? This is like a crazy engineering hack.
Genius.
A genius hack. And anyways, we got one of those, those like dogs that where they have a vest on and you can hold them. We ended up getting one of those that fit because we had one that didn't fit. That one fit, and it stopped it from being able to scratch that point, that part of the back. The thing healed up in like a week.
Yeah.
And it's not, it still has like a little mound there because it's been like two months since it scratched. But I asked them, I said, "Can a dog bite turn into cancer?" They go, no. I said, "So why are you saying that it could be cancer?" "Well, we just want to make sure." So, so we didn't do it. Dog
right.
is fine.
Thank God.
But there was no signs of like dogs eating the same, dogs just as happy. It just had an itch that it couldn't scratch.
Well, I had a thing. My dog, may he rest in peace, Ahimsa. He had like a fever or something, wasn't eating, so we took him to the doctor.
Yeah.
And they go, "Well, the dog can't explain to us what's going on, but precautionary, we should put him on antibiotics."
Yeah.
So we put him on antibiotics.
Yeah.
The antibiotics triggered an immune-mediated polyarthritis, which caused him to be like couldn't move and walk. And then the polyarthritis caused a glaucoma. So we had
Crazy.
to remove one of his eyes. And the guy couldn't walk, couldn't see, and we kept him alive for 6 months, tens of thousands of dollars supporting the dog.
Yeah.
When and only then after, in hindsight's 2020, we look back and they go, "Oh, you could have done this or this, holistic, or take him to acupuncture or give him herbs or something." And what I realized is all of these drugs
Right.
do not cure.
And
Right.
they cause a
just
chain
treat-
reaction.
They just treat the symptoms.
Right.
And then they cause something else from the side effects.
Right.
Like the fleas. The flea medication, they always, during the summer, you get the emails.
Yeah.
"When's your dog been in?" and buy the new thing. But the stuff that's in the flea, if it can kill fleas on the dog's body, you don't think that that's going to hurt the dog
Right.
some way if they lick in their own stuff. If it can kill, it's killing other bags. It's just...
It's got
and
a warning
it's-
on it?
It's like a warning. It's like the pesticides in the food. That's why if we do get groceries, it's all has to be organic.
Totally.
It doesn't even necessarily have to be labeled organic because you talk to them and they say, "Well, we don't want to buy." You have to buy the label. And some companies
it
are
more
like,
expensive.
it costs a lot of money
Yeah.
to buy that stuff. So trust me, you can come to our farm. And
I want to go to the farm.
you want to go to the farm. You want to go to the farm. But, there's a guy at the farmer's market, and I've eaten his food. And, the broccoli, we get some of the kale when we have low kale because I grow the kale.
Yeah.
And I grow the stuff, but I feed the animals with it. And sometimes I'd rather have it for them.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just run out because I got to feed the pig, all the stuff. But a lot of this stuff is fear. And it comes back to the question, where do you get your protein? They're smart to make current meat eaters afraid to even try
Right.
to eat what the strongest animals in the world eat.
Yeah.
And they're trying to give some kind of hesitancy to it. And now you got the new thing where the plants are trying to kill you. And that new ridiculous thing was like the kale, with oxalate killed the guy, and if you see one of my posts, I'm eating a kale salad while the
guy's not
yeah,
that.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because
Billy Carson.
yeah, it's just
I mean, who got to that guy? That's what I want to
Yeah.
know. Who got to that guy?
A lot of people have been got to. Joe Rogan owns meat companies. From what I understand, he has a
investor.
So you got to know that everything has. There's always like a business behind everything,
Totally.
and sometimes you can't even get around that. You're right. Even in the vegan community, there is some unhealthy stuff because they're taking advantage of this new movement and everybody.
Well, people like meat, so they created plant-based meats.
Right.
Yeah.
Beyond Meat, Impossible Food,
Right.
to simulate the meat, because what they were saying is that they want people want meat, so they're basically supplying the demand.
Yeah.
And what we're saying is, let's go back to
Before they
begin-
want
To the
beginning
caveman
of
times,
nature,
back-
right?
yeah.
Sprouts have been around since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
There are documents in hieroglyphics of people eating sprouts 5,000 years ago.
Right.
There are seeds that are 1,200 years old that still germinate.
Wow.
That there are cultures like Japan where broccoli sprouts are being consumed by
Yeah.
500,000 servings of broccoli sprouts a day.
Yeah.
It's $1 billion business
Yeah.
in Japan,
Yeah.
which is a country a fraction of the size of the U.S. Korea, China, sprouts. But America has been this, and I love America, right? I love America. America has been this melting pot of capitalism and dominated. And I loved what Kaylee Means was talking about, how in the 80s and the 90s, when the decline of the tobacco industry, that the tobacco companies bought the food companies and they transferred their marketing and their scientists to go create products that were highly addictive and highly profitable.
Yeah.
So the idea that sprouts are like this, not only survival food, but an abundant thrival food.
Right.
Like, we can eat whatever we want.
Right.
Like, we can eat whatever we want, and we are choosing to eat sprouts.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my dog. My dog outside. Yeah. She, you guys are dropping a lot of knowledge bombs, but I think I agree with you. Like, there's a lot of, all the foods that we're eating, it's backed by companies. Companies are making money when you're buying this stuff.
Yeah.
And if everybody were just to go grow their own sprouts, businesses are going to fail. Businesses are going to die. America's going to go down.
Yeah, but people will be healthier. I mean,
Right.
It's something that, look, there's a chapter in my book, in the Sprout book, which I mean, the universe wanted the Sprout book to come out, because this became the #1 best-selling plant-based book, on Amazon.
Let's go.
It was in the top 69 of all books on Amazon.
Was it actually 69, or was that just
Come
another
on.
sexual reference?
Was
Come
it-
on, Doug.
Was it 68 and you just said was it 70 and you
It was
sacrificed a
70.
point?
It was it was 69. I could show you.
Wow.
But there's a chapter in the book, and it's on page 69.
Get out of here.
No, come on,
Let me
that's
just-
too
no,
much.
no,
That's ridiculous.
No, it's ridiculous. But there's a chapter in the book called Junkyard Dog. And what I talk about is that you could buy seeds anywhere, these are not fancy vessels. These are very designed for sprouting, like every facet of those. But you could use a pasta jar. You could use a mason jar. You could use a glass. You could use a sponge. So the whole chapter, you could pull stuff out of your recycling bin, right, to sprout. So the idea about sprouts was about food equality, food justice, where it's interesting, the poorest people in the world can eat the same food as the wealthiest people in the world. So sprouts really become equality. Now, most of you may or may not have heard of Marianne Williamson. She ran for president, but the corruption of the Democratic Party did not allow her to get on the ballot in so many states that she couldn't make the movement.
Yeah.
But when she was running for president, she had me on her podcast to talk about Sprouts for food justice and food equality.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And she wrote the book Return
Wow.
of Love. She's a very prolific person. She became, what's happening in the government right now is just wild.
Yeah.
Like, it's just wild. Like, you couldn't make this up.
Right.
You really couldn't make this up.
Yeah.
And so stay tuned. But, to me, it's about everything that you know about food, and you're a smart guy.
Thank you.
You've been brainwashed.
100%.
You've been brainwashed. And you start to, and I know you're a person of faith. One of the Proverbs said, those who walk with wise men will become wise.
Amen.
Those who walk with fools will be destroyed. And I think
Except if it's Redfoo.
Except
I
Redfoo,
dropped the L.
The Bible actually clarifies that. It says
Yeah,
Redfoo,
except-
except Redfoo in
yeah.
parentheses, yeah.
So in the spirit of raising your consciousness, raising your standards,
Yeah.
and looking at what the source of your information is, every single thing that we say is validated. I even hate to use the term scientifically validated right now because science has been taken over
Wow.
by the food companies, the drug companies,
Yeah.
the pharmaceutical companies,
Yeah.
and biased. So the only thing that you can do
Yeah.
is commune
Yeah.
with your creator.
Right.
Reflect on the things that we have shared with you
Yeah.
and see if it resonates with truth or not.
Yeah.
Because we're telling you the truth.
Amen.
Like, we're not inviting you into Redfoo's home
Yeah.
to bullshit to you.
Yeah.
Like, we're sharing the what we believe to be the truth. But ultimately, you have to make your decision. And you have to ask yourself the question, is eating a sprouted, germinated seed going to serve you raising the standards and the quality of your health and your life?
Yeah.
Bring it home.
I love that. This is great. I do have a question, though, because it's so funny. God spoke to me yesterday, and he said, do a 3-day fast. And in the Bible, it's a biblical thing. You're supposed to fast for 3 days. I've never fasted in my life. But he spoke to me. He said to do it. And then this podcast came to fruition.
Yeah.
And so I feel like this might be, for me personally, a signal from God to go vegan, perhaps. So I'm getting convinced. But my question is for people that have – I'm 28. But for people that are listening, maybe they're 40, 50, 13, whatever – and they've done damage to their body from the foods that they have eaten and the drinks that they've drank over the years, I think for me, where my head is at is like, is that damage reversible?
Oh, yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, basically, you are a living organism. And like Dr. Dean Ornish wrote the book Preventing and Reversing Heart Disease. And he has studies, peer-reviewed published studies, how you can reverse heart disease, how you can reverse cancer. There's a book by Kathleen Turner called Radical Remissions. And in the book, she talks about 3,500 cases of people who had stage 1 to stage 4 cancer, who either started traditional therapies, radiation or chemotherapy, or didn't, refused it, and went into remission.
Crazy.
And so, look, I lost my mother to cancer. Like, I'm not a doctor. I'm someone who has, like, lost most of my family and who thought I was genetically cursed.
Yeah.
And now I realize, like, I am blessed.
Amen.
Like, I am blessed. I've got genius friends. I got a genius wife.
Let's
I got
go.
a genius girlfriend. I'm able to use social media to connect with people and expand the network. And what do we want? Like, what do I want? I just want people to be able to liberate themselves from the shackles of food addiction and other addictions and be able to live their best life. And Sprouts actually become, during the COVID, situation,
Bless you.
we had a couple of 100 pounds of seeds.
Yeah.
We were so abundant, like being able to just grow our sprouts, grow our food, eat healthy, and it was just a whole life. And I only wish this for everybody.
Yeah.
You know what? To say something, I went vegan. I was doing the opposite of vegan. I was doing keto. I was eating sticks of butter. steak, marbled steak. I was doing the whole thing. I was trying it out because in Hollywood I had met some people, and the bulletproof coffee turned into, why don't you eat, butter and this. And for a second, it shocked my body, Then I took some friends at the time said, hey, you got to go check this out. You got to go to the doctor and get your blood work because, and I was in good shape.
Yeah.
I think I even had abs showing.
You still have abs, but yeah.
No. I mean, I still got abs, but the showing.
Yeah.
Not right now. I'm still, from 215, I'm still coming in.
Yeah.
But. And so I said, oh, no, I'm good. I was on the tennis court. I was playing. They said, go to the hospital and just get your blood work. I did the blood. They took it, and I was ready to go home. Sitting there in the robe. Had the Speedo on just in case I needed to do something. Needed to bribe them or something. Needed to get some extra, good doctor. And I'm like, oh, I'm good to go. They're like,
hang tight.
Hang tight here. Look at your blood. They showed me my blood, and it was cream colored with a hint of pink, like pinkish cream colored, likened to some kind of pasta with the creamy sauce.
Pink slime.
Like pink slime. and they say, you see those chunks, those white chunks floating in your blood? That's the fat floating in your blood. And this is alarming. And then they said, and what's even worse than that is your cholesterol is over 600.
Jeez.
And I said, well, what is it? They said, we don't even know. Because the scale was a mechanical scale that had a little, arrow, and it went all the way, and it hit 600.
Off the charts like his music.
Yeah, baby.
Diamond.
I was like, diamond cholesterol. And so they were like, no, it's no laughing matter, sir. And I was like, what? And so they were like, legally, we don't even know if we're allowed to let you leave without giving you something to lower your cholesterol, because this is alarming. This is at like death, rates. And I said, I know what I'm doing. And they go, you know what you're doing? And I said, yeah. I just changed. I went to this keto diet. And they said, oh, well, yeah, we've heard about that. Yeah, that's not too bad. And I said, well, what do you mean? They go, well, what are you eating? And I said, I'm eating a lot. And they go, let me guess, a lot of carbs, because it turns into And I said, I'm eating no carbs. No carbs, yeah. I'm eating 5% carbs. And they go, well, what are you eating? I said, I'm eating bacon. I'm eating sausage. I'm eating, butter, sticks of butter.
Yeah.
And they go, well, that's not good. And I said, yeah, but it's the meat. I said, I know what I'm going to do. And I cut out all the meat. And I said, I'm going to come back. And they said, you got to come back. Come back in a month. I come back in a month. And they said, okay, when you first came in, we thought it was super
This guy's donezo.
Just super like crazy.
Yeah.
This is even more crazy. They go, you are back down to in the middle of the normal, like 100. I was like 100 and something. I can't remember, 30, 40. I don't know what it was. 100. And they were like, we've never seen someone have 600 and go down.
Crazy.
Ever. And I said, they're like, what did you do? And I said, I just cut out the meat. And so they were surprised. They acted like they didn't know what I was talking about, but genuinely, not like, oh, really? Like they knew. They
really?
No, yeah.
Really? So
no. It wasn't like a scam. Like they just really were that. I'm gonna say dumb. I don't go to the doctor anymore because I was offended that they thought, they were like, they thought it was the pasta. I said something like, I slowed down on some Red Bull. They were like, oh, that'll do it. And I was like, and I'm like, it's the meat.
That's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. So then I went and I said, I was so disgusted. I went on the lemon cleanse. The lemon
Master
cleanse. You ever heard about that?
No.
It's an all liquid diet, and you put maple syrup,
sounds good.
lemon, and cayenne every day. That's all you drink. And I did 10 days of that.
Yeah.
And in the book, they go, and when you start going back to food, we want you to start eating an orange, maybe a grapefruit. The next day, you could have some grapes. And on the third day, you could do some vegetables. And if you are a meat eater, wait a week. And I didn't feel like they were like a vegan organization or something. It was more like they were legit concerned. Like, just wait a week. Let your body get with some real fruits and vegetables. And I looked it up, and they weren't promoting veganism at all. They were just genuinely concerned that do not put meat back in your body. And that was when I went vegan. I said, well, that's a sign to me. And I went totally vegan. Me and Jasmine, Jazzy Rock, we went vegan. And then a week later, after going vegan, and I was eating garbanzo beans, I was eating broccoli. A week later, she goes, I'm going to have some fish. And I said, well, we're vegan. And she was vegan for the animals. I was vegan for health. That's how it started.
Yeah.
Did she find a fish that wasn't an animal?
She, and that's what I said. That's what I said. I said, oh, did you find a fish that's not an animal? And she's like, I like it. And we had just started dating, we're in like a month in. So I didn't want to be too combative, and I was like, hey, to each his own, I said, but I'm not going to do it. She eats the fish. I eat my hummus, with some pita bread. She gets food poisoning.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah to you.
Karma.
And she's like, and it's karma, and it's just because foodborne illnesses happen way more in the bacteria and the E. coli of some uncooked salmon. Salmon got the worms in the shit. You look at it, you can look. And so that's when but it has happened. It just proved to her, call it the universe, call it God, call it whatever.
Yeah.
But she needed to go through that. And she felt like shit. She had the shits. And I was just up and at them, and she's like, and she wanted to be where I was at. So she, had been vegan, ever since.
And she's hardcore vegan now.
Oh, she's
Let's
hardcore.
go.
We went raw together for a month. She went back to cooked. And sometimes the first thing she ate after going raw, she ate a piece of bread because she was like, I just want some bread.
Yeah.
She ate the bread. 5 minutes later, she was sleeping on the couch.
Dang.
And I
Slumped.
said, how do you feel? And she goes, I feel like shit.
Yeah.
And then, so she slowly did, I'm going to do 80, I'm going to do 90, 10. And now she's 80, 20. Now she's about 70.
Yeah.
30.
I Jazzy and I are close. We're friends. And I give her the creme de la creme of exotic fruit.
Yeah.
I went to the farmer's market today.
Yeah.
I was boxing out other ladies. This one
He doesn't
guy,
care. He doesn't care.
I was going like this and cherry picking the fruit
Literally.
and filling up the wagon. So I can tell you that Jazzy was all raw today while she was hanging out with me.
There we go.
Yeah. And sometimes we have friends come over.
Yeah.
I made a dude came over, guitar player, like, oh, can I stay here? He ate raw for 5 days, and his mind was blown.
They feel even better.
Yeah, because I was like, because he's the type that didn't want to cook his own. I said, look, it's a vegan household. Stay here. You can go out and do what you want to do.
Yeah.
But here we don't. We get. It's like a sanctuary with the animals. And now I'm really into the animals. Because I know deep down that eating fruits and vegetables and eating plant-based, not even based, just eating plants. Because plant-based. They try to trick you with that word.
Sure.
It's based in plants, but we also have some bacon bits on there.
Right.
No. It's just plants, only plants. A lot of people, I got some sexy stuff with me, and I'm not going to do the other. I do only plants. They do only fans. I do only plants.
You guys got to start a nightclub with like sprouts.
The relationship that Redfoo has is 5 dogs.
Yeah.
2 cows, 2 pigs, a turkey, and chicken. And a cat.
And all vegan.
And they're all vegan. But the interesting thing was the relationship that Redfoo has with the cows, for example.
Yeah.
Is like if you were an alien coming down to the planet, you would not be able to tell the difference between the Great Danes and the cows, and how they come up to Foo and they want to kiss him, they want him to be pet, like the intimacy, the relationship. And I had lunch with Melanie Joy, who wrote great ethical work discussing like why we wear cows, why we eat pigs, right, and why we love our dogs.
Yeah.
and it's just all profit and cognitive dissonance.
Yeah.
So,
100%.
you know,
You got to meet the cows. After
I would
the
love to.
podcast, we'll bring the camera. We're gonna feed. He's gonna feed.
I'm
the
gonna
cows.
milk it.
but
Can I milk
and
it?
I'm also
No, you can't milk.
You can't milk a
hold
cow.
on, hold on, hold on. Oh, wait. I think that if Div wants some milk from the cow, this motherfucker's going to get on his knees, and I want to see him suck off of the.
You will
teat
never see me on
of
my
the
knees,
cow.
brother. I will
Well,
never
the
get on my
cows
knees.
is lactating, which is weird because cows have to be pregnant.
Yeah.
They're like humans.
No,
You
let him
can't
try
milk.
to get
No.
the milk out of the dry. Like when when Eiley tries to
Wait,
milk from
what
you.
animal eats its other animal's milk?
Species. What?
Cows? Cows don't eat giraffe's milk. They don't eat.
This is true.
You're not supposed to drink another species' milk.
That
Because-
breastfeeding.
Yes,
humans.
that's your
Same
own
species.
Oh, that's true.
Now, check this
I
out.
didn't think of that.
Check this out. My cows are 2,000 pounds
Dang.
and over.
Yeah,
Okay?
heavy.
I just tried it. We had a fire around here. I just tried to get them in the trailer. It wasn't happening, but they were 2,000 pounds. They are 2,000 pounds. The milk for a baby cow.
Yeah.
The milk. The nutritional value for that grown cow's milk to the baby cow is to grow a cow that's 2,000 pounds.
Yeah, turn a calf into a 2,000-pound cow in 6 months.
The breast
Crazy.
milk is to turn a human into, a woman, 120 to, a man
Yeah.
200 and, 15 pounds.
Yeah.
No,
If you drink cow's milk, you're sending the DNA, you're sending the enzymes
The
to your
hormones,
body,
the
the
antibiotics.
hormones to grow yourself for 2,000 pounds. Now, that's why weightlifters and bodybuilders, they geek out on that stuff.
Yeah, they
they
love
deep
milk.
down know
Yeah.
we're drinking because we want to bulk up and all that stuff. So don't let but a lot of the bodybuilders, you've never seen a 90-year-old bodybuilder. I mean, a lot of them, steroids will get them.
Yeah.
That's not the healthiest. They lose their hair, the penis. I mean, not all of them, but I'm just saying.
Shrinkage.
There's shrinkage going on.
And-
Hairline, there's hair loss. I mean, it's a lot because they're all concerned only about show,
External looks.
external.
Yeah.
and-
I'm not saying all bodybuilders,
Yeah.
but there's a group of them that I'm telling you, when I said, oh, well, they got the steroids in there, they're like, yeah, that's what I like. And they were just like, "Man, it's a weird voice. They was, yeah, that's what. But the point is, so no other animal drinks the other animals, and it's a product. They go and they take the cows, they artificially inseminate them. This is what you're drinking. If you're drinking the milk, and we'll get to the bone broth because, but they're artificially inseminating them. Then they're pregnant. They have their baby calves.
Yeah.
And then the first thing they do is they remove them from the mother. And they're crying, and the mother's going, "Rrr, rrr, rrr, rrr," and they're going, and they stick the machines on the mother. And then they feed the baby cows like powdered milk.
Yeah.
And then with supplements and stuff, because the females are going to be new dairy cows, and the males are going to be slaughtered.
veal.
Veal. If they're not, because if they weren't bred for big steaks and stuff like that,
Yeah.
then they just get slaughtered. And so that's what we rescued is 2 cows. One was a male that was a mini cow. He was about to be slaughtered.
Yeah.
And then a baby female calf that when they took her off the mother's milk in the beginning, they gave her the powdered stuff, but they didn't do it right, and she had a disease and she was very skinny. And so we had to bottle feed her from the beginning. And it was crazy because I had to buy powdered milk.
Yeah.
That was the first thing that being a vegan, but they said, you have to do it. They need milk. So it was so I didn't feel that bad because I'm buying cow's milk for a cow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, wish you would have known you could have given him wheatgrass juice or other stuff.
No, you can, but when they had the disease, and they scared
yeah.
me.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
but-
You can, but I, it was,
no one knows.
Yeah.
And-
I didn't want to take the risk.
Totally.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing, this fear-based. But
Yeah.
the other thing, just so we're talking about that,
Yeah.
there are no adults in any species that consume milk other than humans.
Humans are weird. Now that you guys are talking, I'm like, we do some
it's,
weird
it's
stuff.
Some weird, and they put their fist in the booty. So there's dudes that are putting the fist into the cow's anus and doing stuff, percolating.
I don't like that.
You don't like it,
I don't
but
like
you
that.
eat it every day, right? That's how they do it, and then they're
Oh my God, that's going to be the new delicacy for Liver King is cow sperm.
No,
They're going to bottle that shit up.
they probably do.
Yeah, because
Isn't it bull? Is there something as a drink?
Bull sperm?
Yeah,
Is it bull sperm?
I think there's a thing.
I mean, they got
think.
liver, they got organs. You know,
Yeah.
like why not have the sperm?
Now, and the bone broth, I just want to say, I haven't researched a lot of the bone broth, but this is what happens. From the beginning, and you can do the research, I've read a lot of stuff on this. At first, they had cows, right? And they're like, oh, they sell the cow, and then, you're eating the meat. And then they're like, well, what do we do with this skin? Right? He's like, I'm out of here. I'm out of this fucking conversation. It's my podcast, but I'm out.
We lost
steak.
Div.
We lost him. No, so it's like it's like having an apple tree. To make millions of dollars off that apple tree, you can't just sell apples. You got to start selling apple juice, apple cider, apple now and laters, apple
Pectins.
What's that?
That's when you process the pulp from the apple.
Okay.
You actually get pectin.
Yeah. And so so it's the same thing with the cow, right? So you got the meat from the cow, but then you're like, well, what do we do with all this skin? Oh, well, let's make leather. Oh, and then you got, what do we do with all these bones, right? And it's like, we got to sell the bones. So somewhere they want to make all the money they can from that cow. And there's over 200 businesses from the cow. 200 businesses that before cows, because the vegan community, I was talking to one of these vegans, they want to disrupt that. So they want to replace all 200 uses. So instead of leather, you could use mushrooms and make mushroom leather, or pineapple leather, or apple leather, like from the pulp. But you can. So a lot of these products, they weren't made as nutritional as they say.
They were waste products.
They were waste products, and they put a meaning to them to sell. If they tell you bone broth has no nutrition, you're not going to eat it. But if they tell you it's nutritionist, nutritionalistic, then that's how they sell stuff.
Yeah.
In the name of, and they'll tell you a story on how the witches used to brew, and they had the bones, and they found them, and they put them in, and it secreted, and but no animals are eating the juice of a bone.
Yeah.
Except
Well,
for humans.
I'm on the bone broth fast right now. I saw Dana White is actually how I got the fast. Was you drink water? He said drink water, and then day 2, day 3 have bone broth. That's what I'm doing.
I really want advice from
But
Dana
I saw
White.
that. No, I saw
Successful
that
guy.
meme.
I can't.
I think I said.
Yeah, but nutrition
Yeah.
advice.
But,
I know,
but you
yes.
see what I'm saying? That's where we're at, where someone can just, and if you're into UFC, if you're in the jiu-jitsu, Dana White, you're into this stuff. And if he says it, because this is what I said. I said, oh, he said it. Now people are going to be into bone broth. I
aren't they? I mean, I have to say, you're a man of faith,
Yeah.
right? To have these people, like, it's one thing to go into the ring and wrestle and do your MMA and UFC, but the slapping contest,
Yeah, slap fight championship.
Like, just
Crazy.
administer. Do you know they got this shit now?
It's ridiculous.
It's
hard to
administering.
even watch because
It's administering like a concussion.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
Especially if you hit the bone right here. I'm like, what about the palm hits there? You can just knock somebody out.
You kill someone. Yeah.
I mean, it's just literally
for money. It's for money.
It's exploiting.
Yeah, it's
But
exploiting.
it's for money, though.
That's right, exploiting for money.
Yeah.
Like, no one's going to do that in an abundant consciousness.
It's kind of like Michael Vick making the dogs fight.
Yeah.
It's very similar. And they're getting paid pennies, too. They're not making any money.
No,
doing
of course not. But
It's horrible.
So look, I think that just because someone is successful in business, right, doesn't mean that they have your best interest in mind. Like, I look at that as being extremely exploitative and unconscionable.
Yeah.
Like, I can't watch it. Like, I thought it was a joke. right? Someone sent me a video of that on Instagram. I thought it was a joke, and it's so inhumane. Like I can't even believe, that it happens. I guess any people do anything for money to do that. But anyway, I think we got to reel this home.
Yeah, no, this has been. Oh, I got it. This has been really good. I really have to pee, so I really got to go. But man, this has been so fun. I do want to do a part 2 because I have a lot of other questions that I want to get into. But next time we do it, I'm gonna bring a health expert too because I want them to debate you guys.
We have to vet this quote unquote health expert.
I'm gonna get like Gary Brecka or something crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you can bring Gary Brecka. We can talk to Gary Brecka. I think we're more aligned with Gary Brecka than you would think.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay,
but
cool.
If you bring in Gary, we're open to have.
Yeah, I don't know Gary, but I don't know. I don't know a lot of the business. I'm just going off of like. Yeah, common sense, like natural stuff. I mean, we do.
I think we give Gary some MDMA, in here when he comes in, so he's
a little bit of acid.
Just he's already hallucinating, but to give him a little, we just make it so we can have a conversation.
Yeah.
Right, because that's what we have to have. A lot of this is like, I mean, sincerely, like people think, oh, Doug, the raw vegan sprout guy, he must have had hippie parents that fed him sprouts in his lunchbox.
Yeah.
Man, I grew up on the streets of New York. I slept on the subway. I was arrested a dozen times before I was 17.
Wow.
Like,
dang.
This was the furthest thing from being vegan.
You got the thug in you.
Right.
Doug the thug.
I chose I chose this lifestyle.
Yeah.
I chose it. It evolved. This was something that no one told me to do this.
Yeah.
This was the evolution of my soul, of my consciousness being drawn to this. So that's what I could say. Like, I'm not a hippie. I didn't grow up from this. The same way you didn't grow up as Redfoo. You became Redfoo.
Yeah, I chose it.
You chose it. So I chose the sprouts. I haven't changed my name. I have a friend named, his name was Brian Miller, and he changed his name to Brilliant Miller.
That's cool.
And if anyone calls him Brian, he goes, "That's my dead name." Brian, Brilliant is my new name, and he's brilliant. Imagine being called everywhere you go out. Brilliant, 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 brilliant. It's totally NLP autosuggestive.
Yeah.
So, what's your name? I'm Brilliant.
That's sick. That's sick.
I mean, it really is.
Yeah. That's really
powerful.
cool.
So anyway, I'm down to do a part 2 in the future. But I think that I just want to leave everyone, with this, that Redfoo's a genius. Div, you're a genius.
Much love.
You're a genius.
I'm a genius.
And a thug.
Doug Evans.
And I'll leave the genius part where I read the work of Walter Russell. And Walter Russell wrote that he believed sincerely that every person has consummate genius within them. And some appear to have it more than others. And it's the awareness or unawareness of that genius is what makes one into a master or holds them down to mediocrity. Therefore, mediocrity is self-inflicted and genius is self-bestowed. And that's why I love Redfoo, because he's aware of his genius. He lives his genius. And I've been living my genius, literally since I had my come to sprout moment in 1999.
I'm a genius and I know it.
This was amazing, guys. Thank you guys so much for coming on the show. Redfoo, my man. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
Go get your sprouts, guys. If you haven't learned about sprouts today, you messed up. Make sure you guys go get your sprouts. Where can they find you guys if they don't follow you already?
I'm Doug Evans, and the Sprouting Company.
Yeah, baby. Redfoo on all the socials.
Let's go.
Instagram, the X, all the stuff.
All the stuff.
YouTube, baby.
All the stuff, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Divij podcast, episode 120. Make sure you guys go get your sprouts, follow the homies, and we'll see you guys in the next podcast. Peace.